Hello, brothers and sisters. I think some people need to reevaluate whether or not they're still talking to the false Jesus or the true Christ. People need to stop being led by their own spirit so Christ can truly lead them. I know complete deliverance doesn't come overnight, unless God wills it. It took me 2 years of obedience and learning before He's almost completely delivered me from the evil one. To this day, I've had to double-check myself in each of my posts, after doing much research on each topic, while also being led by His Spirit, the Spirit of Truth. I've seen so many YouTubers post videos based on a hunch or their own beliefs, without researching and citing multiple sources. Just like when I jumped to a conclusion about Antipas, the Apollo Temple, and CERN, the Lord led me to go back and do my due diligence and remake that video. I used to believe the earth wasn't level, that there was wide open space above the skies, and the enemy used that lie as a foothold to lead me into more lies, like believing in black holes among other things. This was the enemy covering up a lie with multiple other lies and trying to lead me away from the truth. I've had many thoughts on how to interpret the scriptures, and the more I tried to understand, the more the enemy kept feeding me his lies, until I let go and let God, listening to His still and quiet voice on all prophetic matters. I doubled down on what the Lord led me to speak about, but I never took what any spirit told me as truth until I double-checked it with Bible prophecy, eschatology, and multiple trusted sources. There's a lot of people who have true intent, but God never truly called them to ministry. They have their own beliefs, and when anyone tries to correct them with sound doctrine, they get mad and reject it. As such, I've always tried to research what other people say before getting mad at them or completely denouncing them. Shout out to Reclaim His Rainbow Ministry. These people are quick to latch on to any new prophecy which comes their way. It's the spirit of the false prophet, and it must be rebuked. However, one must have a little bit of restraint when it comes to understanding the scriptures and true prophecy. One may be ready and willing to spread the gospel, but when one jumps to conclusions, it only spreads the spirits of confusion. According to Paul in 1 Timothy 1, 3-7, false teachers lack understanding of the scriptures and sound theology. Therefore, they devote themselves to myths and drag people into vain discussion. Jumping to conclusions and following mainstream prophecy without waiting for confirmation from the true Yeshua Jesus is a surefire way to allow lying spirits to come in upon us. If God has not truly called you to your position, then humble yourself and submit to the will of God. Get out of His way. Get out of Yahweh's way. God is not a respecter of persons or beliefs. It doesn't matter what anyone else says or what I say. If it's false, it's false. I strive for the truth because the truth is the truth. One must read, study, pray, double-check, understand context, study eschatology or the timeline, receive prophetic wisdom, have firm understanding and knowledge of the scriptures, discern the spirits, ask for confirmation, and context is key. Anyone preaching the gospel with the intent of popularity, persuasion, attention, authority, jealousy, money, power, spite, fame, or just not being called to the ministry in the first place, or etc., is using the spirit of witchcraft, manipulation, and domination. You get these spirits when you do this: manipulation, blindness, coercion, control, lying, unclean spirits, spirits of affliction, deaf and dumb spirits, and spirits of deception and mysticism. This is confusion of God's word. Ministry is not a popularity contest. I'll say that again. Ministry is not a popularity contest. What we say has real-world consequences on other people's salvation. The Lord our sovereign God holds people who actually teach His word to a higher standard than those who stay with the gospel. And those who get it wrong are held to a higher standard of punishment. The second you favor people's likes or quantity over quality, you're willing to compromise the gospel to gain followers. God in Christ favors those who do not compromise the gospel and hurdle over the truth for the sake of the masses, scrambling for fresh revelation. You're a stumbling block to me, Satan. You're not setting your mind on God's interests, but of man's. Matthew 16:23.